Come on. What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with another Indians live stream. And this will be my White Sox series recap and Twins series preview. Now, a side note, we actually got the MLB draft on right now. The Indians are on, and the Rockies just took Michael Toglia, first baseman out of UCLA. Again, the thing about the MLB draft that is completely different than NBA and NFL drafts, even the NHL draft. You're not going to see these guys. You may never see them because prospects get traded left and right for good players or possibly other prospects. But most likely, I'm predicting the Indians are probably going to go with someone out of high school. But anyways, until we are on the clock, let's talk about what the heck happened in this series against the White Sox. So, we're coming off a pretty impressive series against the Red Sox. We actually won the series, took 2 of 3 from the defending World Series champs. No big deal, right? We're heading out to Chicago for a 4-game series. I'm confident in my squad. I'm thinking, all right, I think we got this. I think we could at least split, maybe take 3 or 4. And it wound up being the opposite, as we would only win 1 game. So anyways, let's go on through these games, and let's talk about each one of these because, oh my God, these games were all just bad. Except for the game that we actually won. That was a good game. Very well pitched game by the Indians in that one. But in most of the other games, we've been low-key garbage, including a game in which the Indians forgot what defense is. It's like, they locked up the Indians in the clubhouse and sent out a bunch of high schoolers or something, like a bunch of little kids. They could not field to save their life. So anyways, game 1 of this series, of course, coming off the Red Sox series win, featured Carlos Carrasco against Manny Benuelos, a guy who we have beaten pretty consistently. In fact, we beaten him, twice before, in which Carrasco completely shut him down. I mean, he did not allow a run to the White Sox when Benuelos was on the mound. And in fact, we've scored, a dozen runs plus against him in those 2 meetings. And, this would turn out to be an absolute crapshoot, as the Indians would absolutely fall apart. Yeah, they fell apart big time. And what really sucked was we had, again, 2 errors, and we literally could not stop them for the most part. I mean, they scored first, and we actually responded with 2 runs of our own. How about that? Eloy Jimenez had a double, scoring 2, and then Santana responded in the top of the 3rd with a 2-run single. And then bottom of the 3rd, Carrasco gives up a cookie, 2-run ding-dong to Yonder. And then bottom of the 5th, Jose Abreu scored on a sac, or he's out on a sac fly, which scored Leury Garcia. And then top of the 6th, just like clockwork, Jordan Luplow, boom, hits one out. How many home runs has he hit off of this dude, freaking Benuelos? 4? Our one guy's hit 4 homers out of his 7 against 1 pitcher. If he faced Benuelos every game, he probably has almost 90 home runs. I swear, this dude owns him pretty much. And, of course, the White Sox seemingly own us right now. And then literally bottom 7, Jose Abreu puts it on ice with a 2-run homer. It was only a 2-run game when Luplow homered. And then just like clockwork, typical Indians, they blow it. Abreu, 2-run homer. And then Yomer Sanchez singled. Of course, the Indians challenged it. Wound up being a worthless challenge because the run counted 8-3, and then they had a wild pitch by Dan Otero. And then Moncada doubled, and that pretty much did it right there. They scored their 10 runs right there. And then top of the ninth, the Indians had a horrendous attempt at a comeback as they only scored another run thanks to a throwing error. Yep, 10-4. White Sox take game 1 of the series. Benuelos improves to 3-4, and Carrasco falls to 4-6. And if you're wondering how long these pitchers went, Carrasco went a very good 6 1/3, 10 hits though. Ugh. 6 runs, all earned, 1 walk, 7 Ks. It's impressive, but 1 ding dong given up. And then Benuelos went 5 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 3 walks, 3 Ks, 1 homer. That's it. Oh, they got Carlos Baerga calling in the making the call on the pick here. Let's see who they take. I bet you it's a high school guy. Not like it matters. Oh. Yep. Daniel Espino, right-handed pitcher from Georgia Premier Academy. And he's actually in the studio too. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, and that means what this means is I think he's a high schooler, so I think that means he can either go to college or he could start in the minors. And he would start off in rookie ball for the year, probably, and then he'd work his way up to the minor leagues. I mean, we have a freaking guy who we drafted last year who's already in, AA. So, this dude tops out at triple digits? Oh, my God. We got another flamethrower, bro. I mean, yeah, okay. That's a good pick. I mean, again, I'm not a big baseball buff when it comes to the draft. We're probably not going to see him for at least 4 years, unless, like what's going on with Nick Sandlin right now, he's already in AA. He could easily come up by the end of the year this year. Pitchers seemingly fly through the minors, depending on how good they are. If he's really good, man, we could see him in maybe 3 years, depending on what's going on. If this dude literally turns out to be a flamethrower, like a Jordan Hicks, except a starter, maybe. Could he be a starter? I don't know. Oh, hey, Trevor. Oh. The craziest thing to me, though, this kid is for how good he is already. I'm just listening to Trevor Bauer describe this kid. He actually reminds me a little bit of a young me in that position. He tightens up that arm action a little bit, solidifies that posture. He's going to throw even harder with better command than he has right now. And I got to tell you, that's a very scary thought for all the hitters we're going to have to face him. If he actually makes it to the Indians, because we all know how the Indians are. They like to just deal off prospects. But I think he's a guy that I think we could – he's going to LSU. So we'll see if he actually sticks with LSU, or does he skip college and go right to the minors? Because I think you can do that. But anyways, talking about this game, this might have been one of Carrasco's ugliest games. I mean, he's had some ugly games, but looking at his strikeouts, 7 Ks isn't bad. Then you look at the hits, and it's like 10 hits. Man. But once again, we come in with a clunker in the series opener. Had that quite a lot this year. So heading into game 2, it was Trevor Bauer against Dylan Covey. And I'm thinking, okay, Bauer, man, he hasn't been looking too high. This is the perfect time for him to rebound, get back on the winning track, and get himself rolling again. Yeah. And this was actually the game in which I actually streamed it. Yeah. You probably saw the stream. What little bit of a stream I did, because I just got so fed up with this friggin' team. I just decided to end it. I'm not going to suffer, and the Indians, much like they did earlier in the year against the White Sox in Chicago, Francisco Lindor hit a leadoff ding-dong to put us on the board early. A couple pitches in. Got me excited. And then for the rest of the game, nothing else. No runs. We had a couple threatening opportunities. Nothing. Worst part is, that was Dylan Covey's first win of the year. Bauer falls to 4-5. But yeah, Lindor homered, and that was it for us, because Charlie Tilson would hit a ground rule double, giving them the lead, and then from that point on, it was over. From the bottom of the third. Then bottom of the fourth came around, Abreu sac fly, and then Yonder Alonso reached on a fielding error. That's another thing. 4 errors in this game. 4. And then Sanchez scored another run. By the way, Yonder Alonso scored 2 runs on that fielding error. Yeah. Good job, Carlos. And then that would pretty much be it until bottom of the 6th, when Yolmer Sanchez would single on a line drive to Greg Allen, and then Anderson would score. Sanchez went to second. Sanchez then advanced on a throwing error by Greg Allen. Oh, man. But, so, yeah. Ugly. And if you're wondering how far each pitcher went, Bauer went 7, 9 hits, 6 runs, 2 of them earned. Freaking errors, man. 1 walk, 8 Ks. You have that stat line, except for the runs part, you win. Take away the runs, you have 9 hits, 1 walk, 8 Ks. That could usually be a win, especially if your offense shows up, which ours hasn't showed up. That's a problem. Our offense has a problem with showing up at times. And then Dylan Covey went 6 innings, 8 hits, 1 run. Of course, the very first friggin' batter of the game. 5 Ks, 1 homer. That was it. Yeah, that was it. So, yeah, Covey 1-4. Bauer fell to 4-5. Fan-freaking-tastic, right? So heading into game 3, it was Jeffrey Rodriguez against Ivan Nova. All right. Now I'm thinking, okay, Jeffrey, maybe he can do something big here and get his second win of the year against a bum like Ivan Nova. Granted, I said that last time, and look what happened. He freaking dominated us. But being real here, though, I mean, I did not expect much from the Indians in that game. I actually was unable to watch the game because, I was out doing some things. And the Indians actually surprised me because the offense actually came out, and wouldn't you know, they got the win. Yeah, they actually won. And yeah, the Indians freaking won 5-2. Once again, the White Sox would score first. That seems to be a common theme here. We, can't score first. And it was the Louis Garcia sac fly that scored Tim Anderson. And then That was bottom of the third. The next half inning, Jason Kipnis responds with a sac fly of his own, scoring a Mercado. And then top of the sixth, the Indians finally hit another ding-dong with Carlos Santana going yard with a solo shot. And then top of the seventh with a man on third, Leonis freaking Martin out of nowhere freaking decides to go yard, barely. I mean, I heard it like wrapped around the right field foul pole. It's like knowing us, that would have been foul. But no, it was actually a homer. 2-run ding-dong for Leonis Martin. Gave us the lead 4-1, and then Yonder Alonso would fly out, sac fly, scoring another run, 4-2. And then just to put the exclamation point on it, Kevin Plawecki with an RBI single, and he advanced the second on the throwing error. So we got the win. Brad Hand nails the 16th save of the year. Perez 1-0, Nova 3-5. And for those wondering how long the starters went, Jeffrey went 4 innings, actually came out due to, I believe, shoulder soreness or something. And he had allowed 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 3 Ks. And then Nova went 7 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 1 walk, 3 Ks, and 2 ding-dongs given up. So, honestly, that was not the worst game I've seen. I mean, that was a very good game. I'm glad Jeffrey finally did good. Granted, he only lasted 4 innings. But I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure that could have been the starting point of a rejuvenated season for him. But no, he got hurt. Who knows how long he'll be out. Now, so coming out of this game, I'm thinking, okay, we got the rookie Plesac on the mound against Giolito. He's 8-1. Plesac, 7-1. And then Plesac was, of course, he does not have a win or a loss. But Plesac did amazing in his first start. Coming in a big situation, in a game against the defending World Series champs, although offense didn't really want to show up for him at times in that game, but they showed up when it mattered the most, and we got that win. Now, in this one, I'm hoping, okay, maybe the offense will show up for him, and he'll get his first win. He'll be 1-0. We'll be awesome. We'll get rolling. And then game started, and it was as you'd expect, an absolute pitcher's duel. Couple hits here and there. But for the most part, Giolito and Plesac were doing very good. I'm like, wow, this is going to be that kind of game where the first team to score probably wins. And as you'd expect, the Indians did not score first. In fact, they didn't score at all, as we got blanked. Tim Anderson to nothing. Oh, why did you say Tim Anderson? Because he literally scored the only 2 runs of the game. Yeah, that's it. He homered in the bottom of the 4th, and then an RBI double in the bottom of the 8th. And that was enough. We had chances, but couldn't bring anyone home. So Giolito got his 8th win of the year. Plesac takes the L for the first time, and then Colome gets the save. So we get the heck out of Chicago, and we head home to face the AL Central leading Twins. Now, this would have been all fine and dandy, but of course, as I just mentioned, the Twins are leading AL Central. And for those wondering, it's not even close. It's like, an 11.5 game lead. I mean, it was close for a while, and then the Indians decided to start sucking. So game one of the series against the Twins at home will feature two up-and-comers, as Devin Smeltzer will be on the mound for the Twins, and Shane Bieber will be on the mound for the Indians. And in fact, I'm pretty sure Bieber got us the only win of that first series against the Twins back when the season started. In fact, just for lulz, let's go back and see if I can find out which game he started. I'm pretty sure it was the game that we won. I think we had Carrasco and I don't even know. Did he even play in that series? I might have. I could have sworn we won a game in that series. It was close as hell, but I think we won. But let me check here. Of course, that was like way back in March. Seems like a long time ago. Yeah. It was, I believe, the second game of the series. Let me see who started this one. I might be mistaken. Could have sworn it was Bieber. I could have sworn it was him. Wow, look at that, man. Oh, it was Bauer. Okay. I thought it was Bieber. But yeah, Bauer actually got us the first win of the year against the Twins. But that was the last time we faced them. You know, it was like the second game of the year. Both teams were 1-1. How about that? What a glorious time that was, right? You know, that was a glorious time. Now look how things have changed. But let's take a look and see if I can find, because I know we didn't start game one. That was Kluber. And then, of course, I think game two was game three was Carrasco. That's right, because he got absolutely belted, I think. Right? No, I can't even remember, bro. It's from March. Yeah, I think that was Carrasco in that 9-3 loss. I know Kluber started game one because he only lost 2-0. Offense did not show up at all. Game three, I'm pretty sure it was Cookie. Yeah, it was Cookie. Okay. So he didn't face, but last year he did, and he actually did pretty well. But this is the first time Bieber's facing the Twins this year. We've only faced him one other time, as I mentioned. But he'll be going up against Devin Smeltzer. And, of course, we've never faced Smeltzer. Smeltzer is actually 0-0 with no ERA. Wow. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. I plan on streaming the game. I mean, it's Shane Bieber. You know, we've been pretty good when he's playing. He's 4-2, 3.67 ERA, and 85 Ks. Smeltzer only has 7 strikeouts. Of course, he made his debut last week. And that might be the most winnable game we have because the next 2 games after that are freaking even harder than that one, because game 2 of the series will have Martin Perez, a lefty, going up against Carlos Carrasco. Perez is 7-2 with a 3.71 ERA and 59 strikeouts. And Carlos Carrasco, as you know, is 4-6 with a 4.98 ERA and 79 strikeouts. Man, it's crazy looking at how far Carrasco has come since having his ERA in the freaking upper atmosphere in like the double digits, and that's all the way down to sub 5, like 4.9. But 79 Ks. It's impressive. He's struggled a little bit, but most of the time he's decent. He's reliable. And then game 3 of the series, I think, might be one of the most competitive pitching matchups of the year here in between these two teams, as it'll be Jose Barrios, who is 7-2 as well, with a 3.27 ERA and 72 strikeouts, going up against Trevor Bauer, who's 4-5 with a 3.87 ERA and 96 strikeouts. Now, for those also wondering, after we get done with the Twins, we face the freaking Yankees. Yeah, we have the Yankees coming up after. And they have not announced the pitching matchups for those games, although I got some really good news. I am very hopeful that Mike Clevinger will be making his return against the Yankees. That's going to be music to my ears because most likely he's going to be taking the spot of Jeffrey Rodriguez. So that means our rotation will be most likely like not in order, but Carrasco, what was it? No, Bieber, Bauer, Carrasco, Plesac, and Clevinger. Of course, Clevinger has been out for a little while with a back strain. Yeah, that was really suckish. And I remember when that happened because everyone immediately came out and said, "Hey, let's go get Keuchel." It's like, no, you don't know the Dorans. We're not getting Keuchel. That would never happen. What's up, Joe? Crazy dog. I'm pretty sure Joe McCoy went to Carolina. Yeah, I heard about that. I don't really care to be honest, because I mean, at least he didn't go to Baltimore. At least he didn't go to Baltimore, right? That would have been so bad if he would have went to Baltimore. It'd have been like, oh god, now we got to deal with Ravens fans gloating. But no, now it's Panther fans gloating. Honestly, I can deal with them because I mean, it's whatever. No skin off my bones. I mean, it doesn't really matter. So I guess the Browns didn't have any interest in getting into a bidding war on McCoy, which is okay. I mean, he's good. McCoy's good, but I wouldn't get into a bidding war with him, especially at a position in which he would just be a depth piece. Oh, well. But yeah, Jeremy Fowler literally came out and said that the Browns were not touching the $10.25 million McCoy can get from Carolina. Wanted him to take a fairly sizable pay cut. Panthers viewed him as more than $8 million player. Wow. Well, hope he has fun in Carolina. Hopefully Cam can stay healthy, because we all know if he ain't healthy, that team it's McCaffrey without Cam. Cam literally is like the pulse of that squad. We saw what they were like when he was wounded. So hopefully his shoulder is good, because if it ain't, oh man, they are in trouble. I know there was rumors about him missing this season, but no, he's actually gonna play. Respect that. But anyways, let's take a look and see what we got coming up here. I'm going to see when the next time we face the Twins is, because we face them tomorrow, June 4th through the 6th. So 3 games. Oh, we face them in July, coming off the All-Star break. Who knows what the standings will look like at that point, because as you know, we get done with the Twins, we have the Yankees, and then we got a nice stretch of very winnable games. We have, of course, the Reds for 2. Those are winnable games right there. And then we go on the road in Detroit, very winnable, and Texas, although they are very good. They're good this year, surprisingly, which it's good, seeing a team like the Rangers actually showing out this year, at least for now. But we should be able to beat them. We'll see what happens. And then we get Detroit again, and then Kansas City. And we all know how Kansas City is. And then we got Baltimore. So literally, if we could just maybe take 2 of 3 against Minnesota, hopefully 2 of 3 against the Yankees, that'd be good too. But knowing us, we're going to get swept by both teams. Meanwhile, the Twins are going to go on another 20-game winning streak. Man. Oh, man, it's going to be a very rough rest of the month if we cannot get this winning thing going. Now, we all know how the Indians are. They're going to get blown out one game, and then the next game they're going to freaking just shut down the opponent. And then the next game they're going to score like 30 runs. And then the next game they're going to score 2 runs and lose by 10. This team's so erratic. It's crazy. But after the July meeting, right after the All-Star break, We do not face the Twins until August 8th away in Minnesota for a 4-game series. And then after that, we have the Twins on the 13th, 14th, and 15th of September. And that is the last time we see them this year. So really, we only have what? Oh, and then, no, actually, we have them the week before that as well, the 6th, 7th, and 8th on the road as part of a very long stretch of games. And what's really trippy about this is we host the White Sox after coming back from that horrendous stadium in Tampa. That thing it's so bad. I mean, I wish Tampa would move to an open air stadium or something, or at least move to a different city, because that sucks seeing what's going on with them. They're a good team, but no one's watching their games. Now they know how we feel. It was, reasonable. It's like, okay, the team sucks. Now I see why no one's going to watch. But now it's genuinely like, damn, no one cares about the Rays. Are you kidding me? Wow. Give us the Rays, and we would probably sell out almost every game. It'd be almost like what happened in the 90s with the Indians. If we have a team like the Rays that's winning 30-plus games and only has like less than 20 losses. Oh, man, that'd be litty. But, that's the way the Dolans are. They don't care. They just see that money, and they're not really getting much because, the team isn't that good and no one's watching the games. But, yeah, you get the idea. So September, we have 2 meetings against them there. So, in essence, we have 4 meetings against these guys. But like I said, this funky little road trip that we have or not road trip, but like stretch of games from the end of August to first 2 weeks of September. It's like we go from Queens, the Mets, home to face Kansas City for 3. We have an off day, travel day, go to Detroit. From Detroit, head out to Tampa for 3. And then we head back home to face the White Sox for 4. And then we head back on the road to Minnesota for 3. And then from Minnesota, we travel all the way out west to Los Angeles to face the Angels for some Indians After Dark action. Then we have an off day, and then we have a nice little homestand, our last one of the year, in which we have the Twins for 3, of course. We have the Tigers for 3, and then we have the Phillies for 3. And then we end it with White Sox for 3 and Nationals for 3. So there's quite a few very winnable games left. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But with that being said, this stretch of games coming up with the Twins and the Yankees is really going to tell us a lot about this Indians team. See how much resolve this team has. Because if we can survive these next 6 games at home, we're going to be rewarded with a nice stretch of very winnable games in Cincinnati, against Cincinnati at home. But Cincinnati ain't no pushover. We all know that. We got to play some lights out ball against them. And then we got the Tigers for 3 on the road. And then the Rangers for 3 on the road. And then we got the Tigers again for 3 at home. And then we got the Royals for 3 at home as well. And then we go on the road to Baltimore. And then, yeah, to end the month of June. Looks like a promising month. But we'll see what happens. Not a great start. Oh, well, we'll see what happens. But I'm going to be streaming the game tomorrow night. Hope you guys tune in and we can have some fun. Hopefully the Indians actually show up. Both physically, of course, they're going to be there, legit. But, like, mentally, show up. And hopefully the bats show up, too. That'd be nice. Although I'm pretty sure Bieber will do his thing. But he can't win if you don't score runs. It's impossible to win when you don't score. So that's going to wrap it up for this live stream. Shout out to everyone out there, man. I only had, a couple viewers. Doesn't really matter. This is the freaking preview stream. No one really cares about those. But, yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow night. And then, of course, we got the NBA Finals on Wednesday. It's going to be lit. So I'm Crazy Dog 99. Let's go Tribe. And I'll see you tomorrow night.